Rodriguez, and this is Small Biz Spotlight 210. Thank you, as always, for joining me for another episode. Happy Thursday. And if you are new to me, what I'm trying to do here is exactly what the title says, right? Small Biz Spotlight. Yeah, is to put a spotlight on small businesses here in San Antonio. Hopefully I can start working my way out to the surrounding areas. And with that, if y'all have like somebody you know that has a small business, or if you have a small business and you would like to be on Small Biz Spotlight 210, go ahead and email me at smallbizspotlight210@gmail.com, or leave me a comment down below, okay? So please stay till the end of the video because I have more information to give y'all and share with y'all. Okay, so let's get to it. Today, we have a best-selling author, motivational speaker, who know her like to call her Coach Rosie. So Rosie, go ahead, give us the full introduction.
Wow, thank you so much, Miss Lydia, for having me today. It is such a pleasure to be on here, and you know, I just love what you're doing for small business here in San Antonio. Like you said, my name is Coach Rosie. I am the best-selling book expert, author coach, and success strategist. And what I do is to help aspiring authors and women entrepreneurs, and I do work with a few lucky men on how to write and publish their best-selling books to boost their brand and grow their business.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, so before any of my other questions, first of all, I want to thank you for your service.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much for your service. So if you didn't know, Rosie was, let's see, in my Air Force. How many years did you serve in the Air Force?
20 years.
Wow. That's a service. Okay. Well, thank you so much. Thank you very much for that.
My pleasure.
So, were you born and raised here in San Antonio?
No, ma'am. Okay, so let's tell the story. So I was born and raised in Kingston, Jamaica.
Wow.
Yes. And I moved here to the U.S. in 2000, actually. My parents decided they wanted to leave Jamaica, and I was a minor at the time, so I moved with them. And shortly thereafter, I didn't waste no time, I joined the military. That was in June of 2001. Brand new to the country. You know, all my family was living in New York, New Jersey area, and I decided I wanted to branch out and explore, and took advantage of this American dream. And so that's what I did. And the reason why I actually joined the Air Force, so my dream was to be a pilot when I was a little itty bitty girl. And when I was in high school, I actually had an opportunity to fly airplanes at the age of 19. I had a scholarship, and I actually had got a private pilot license. So I actually learned how to fly before I learned how to drive, y'all.
Oh my God.
Fun fact about Rosie. And so that's what motivated me to join the Air Force at the time, but I wasn't a citizen, so I couldn't become a pilot. So I just joined with what they gave me, the job they gave me, which was vehicle mechanic. Look at God. That's how I started.
Oh my God. We need more of that, more women in that field.
So that's my story.
Wow, so from Jamaica. God, I wish I could go to Jamaica. How was that weather change? Texas is hot.
Listen, it's a different type of heat. It is. The weather change, though, for me, leaving the island to New York in November, that was a culture shock in itself, right? I was like, what did I get myself into when I stepped on that airplane? So, you know, it took a while for me to get acclimated. anything below 70 is freezing for me. I don't think I've been really acclimated to the cold here. But Texas heat is a different type of heat. Jamaica don't get up to hundreds, maybe 90s, not 100. So
oh my gosh, we're here like you open the door and it's like opening the oven.
Yes, I don't play outside in the summer here though. I don't. It has to be business, strictly business. If I need to go outside, it's from my house.
That was a good reason for me coming out.
Right. From my house to the car to a building with AC, back in my car. I don't play games outside. So
that's funny. No, I'm the same way. I don't like to be out there if I don't have to. Okay, so let's get. Okay, so how did you transition from military service? That's 20 years military to everything that you're doing now. What was that transition?
So I believe that, and I'm a woman of faith, so everything I do is tied into my beliefs, right? And I believe that God was ordering my steps the whole time. Everything that I did, from being a vehicle mechanic, then I retrained and became a paralegal, and that's where I got my expertise in legal research, writing, my editing skills, all of that stuff. I didn't know then, though. I didn't know that's how God was preparing me for what I'm doing now. Mm-hmm. And so I became a paralegal in 2007, right after I came back from Iraq. I did one tour in Iraq for 6 months and became a paralegal, and I just started to develop my skills, my writing skills, my editing skills, my keen eye for writing, right? And it was great. It was challenging at times, because I work in a career field where there's pretty much no room for error.
In the military, yeah, definitely.
And as a legal person too.
Right.
And so, right when I was getting ready to retire, I was asking God, what do I do next? I know I don't want to work for anybody else. Oh my gosh, because I did 20 years of being told what to do, what to wear, where to go, and how to do it. So I wanted my freedom. I wanted time freedom. I wanted it all. So I was thinking, what do I want to do? What am I passionate about? And I just hear something in my spirit tell me, I need you to tell your story. But at the time, I was telling my story. I was speaking on stage. I was in a network marketing company, got to the top level in that company as a leader. I was on stage telling my story to thousands of people and how this company was, a blessing to me and my family. But I felt something pushing me. No, I need you to tell your story, and I need you to write it. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, how do I write and publish a book? I mean, when I think of an author, what do you think of the first time you think of an author?
Like years and years of schooling to learn how to write.
Or and when you think of authors, who do you first think about?
Like Hemingway, Jane Austen.
Like celebrities, right? Those people,
that's best known ones.
Right. I didn't think somebody like me could be an author. And so I was like, how am I going to do that? I think of Joyce Meyer, Joel Osteen, T.D. Jakes, the president, those people I think of, okay, because they have that status. Mm-hmm. And you see them, you see their books. I didn't know I could become an author, but I tell you, I put it on my dream board, right? Mm. The power of having a vision board, that's a powerful tool. Put it on my dream board, I said, and I think this was like 2019, and I put it on there, and I said, okay, I want to be an author. I'm just going to cut it out, paste it on there, and I let it be. And then I forgot about it, and one day I was cleaning my house, and I happened to find some printer papers stapled together, and I looked at that paper. I wish I had it. I need to laminate it and everything like this, but I'm gonna tell you what it is. Some printer papers stapled together. I saw a picture of a little girl's face looking very scared, and on the front page of that paper said, "My Bully Story" by Rosie Thames. Layla is my daughter.
Oh, okay.
She was 9 years old at that time. And I was like, okay. And I flipped that page over and I'm reading her story, and I'm like, I I'm very familiar with this story because, you know, we had to take care of that matter of her being bullied in school. And I flipped, it must have been like 10 pages or so. And I said, what message are you trying to send to me? Like, this little girl showed me that it doesn't take that much to write your story. You just have to get it out. Mm-hmm. She actually did, believe it or not, she actually did publish her book.
What? At 9?
Publishing your book, I was her audience. You know, she wrote it. It is out in the world. I read it.
That is amazing.
Simple as that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She could have taken that to an event and say, hey, I wrote my book, you want to buy it? You know? Simple as that. You just got to be creative, and it's all in us. We have the story. Every one of us have a story to tell. The moment you came into this world, you have a story to tell. Right?
Yes.
And she's showing me that, Mom, you have a story to tell. Tell it. Just write it. Mm-hmm. Put it out there. And so that's what motivated me, inspired me to take the step further. I knew I needed help, though. I knew for the level that I wanted to tell my story, I needed help. So I knew I was looking for somebody who already did the process.
Right,
to get me there.
It's not easy. It is not easy. And that was going to be like my next question, was because the experience is definitely a position of expertise, right? Just life experience is your expertise. So how much research did you have to do before you were confident in writing?
So, okay, like I said, writing was not the issue for me. It's me telling my story and believing that I had a story powerful to tell. Because as a paralegal, I know how to write. But the mindset that I had to overcome or have is, Rosie, you do have a story worth telling. You do have a story that is going to help somebody overcome some challenge. Mm-hmm. And I had to believe that. A lot of us don't believe that we have a story, and a lot of us don't believe we have a story worth telling.
I think that's a lot of mistake that a lot of people have. Not just the fear of being out there, you know, you have to get over that fear, mm-hmm. But we are billions of people out here, and your story's gonna resonate with people.
That's right. That's right. That is correct. And I mean, at least one. You know, you don't need to reach all the billions, but at least one person, your story is going to resonate with them. So, even though I was a paralegal and I know how to write, though, writing your own story is a different beast. Okay. So the first opportunity I had at writing, I had a friend that called me one day. She said, Rosie, I've been watching you on Facebook. I know your story. You have a powerful story. And she told me, she said, I'm about to do an anthology and you need to be a part of it. And I'm like, oh, anthology what? What is an anthology? Like, I've never heard that terminology. She's like, yeah, a book project, you know, it's a book where you have many authors, you know, you just write one chapter in that book and that's it. That's all you have to worry about. So she connected me to the visionary, the person who is in charge of that project. They told me what the requirements were. I only had to write 2,500 words. They will take my story, edit it, and do the formatting. Everything else with that project, I didn't have to worry about. That's it. My story's in the book. So this was the first one that I did. Let the launch lead. This is the first book that I co-authored, and this was back in 2018. I forgot the date already, but my chapter is in this book, and that was my first opportunity at writing. I'm so excited about it, and I'm looking for my chapter so I can tell you. Soar to Your Destiny. That's my chapter right there, page 86. And so that was the first book that I wrote, and nobody could talk to me. I'm joking. Because let me tell you, when you write your story, when you tell your story and it's in a book, man, you feel so proud of yourself. That's an accomplishment.
Right.
That is an accomplishment in itself. My self-confidence took another level, okay? Because I know even my peers, my supervisors, my bosses did not have a book with their name on it.
Yep. Y'all want to know how to live forever?
Write a book. That's right. I like that. Legacy, right? Your book will outlive you.
Exactly.
Yes, your name will be here forever and ever and ever. Okay, and so that was it. I just wrote, got my story out, 2,500 words. They put it together. They did that project, and I was like, wow, look at that.
And so you also have Unstoppable Black Woman.
Yes.
Sisterhood Edition.
Yes.
And Woman Rise.
Yes.
And Empowering Our Girls.
Yes.
Subject matter, guys, that is super important right now. Tell us about those.
So the next project that I worked on, I believe, was Unstoppable Black Woman. So I started to love anthologies because it's just an easy project to do. You put you do your chapter, you give it to the visionary, they take care of everything else, right? Of course, there's an investment, your time, and there's an investment because it takes somebody to coach you into, especially for new time authors, writing a book, you have to be coached into, the writing, getting your story out, and editing the book, formatting the book, all these things. There's so much that they put into it, and I love the project that I was in for Live Launch Lead. They really poured into us and taught us so much about branding and marketing and promoting. I learned a lot. So that project was well put together, and so that was an investment well spent because of course I'm benefiting from it this very day. And so Unstoppable Black Woman was the same visionary for Live Launch Lead, and then I did Empowering Our Girls with a few other ladies as well. And I decided I wanted to do my own project. But before we got to this, that's when I decided, okay, I need to do my own books. I've been in several anthologies, great, but I want to do my own book. Now, I became so passionate about this whole storytelling thing and writing books. I want to do it, but I just couldn't figure it out, and I knew I needed help. And I've asked some people, but it seemed like they were like, "No, I don't want to tell her." I'm like, "Why are you trying to keep it a secret?
Right.
I will pay you to tell me." So I got a coach, Dr. Fred Jones. He is his program Bestseller Overnight was what I signed up for. He's an attorney as well, and I was like, look at that, leaving the military, working in a legal field, to now working with a coach who's an attorney. I said, and I was trying to get away from that. I said, when I retire the military, I don't want to do nothing remotely close to what I did in the military. And everything that I'm doing now, it just seemed like it just, that's what it is. Like, all of the skills that I've learned as a paralegal is playing out in my writing, my coaching, my leadership skills, right? And so I got me a coach. He helped me get to bestseller with my titles. And from then on, people saw what I was doing on Facebook. I'm still with him, by the way. I'm invested in myself, pouring into myself for personal growth and development. And so since 2020, when I hired him as a coach, still till this very day, he is my coach. Yes. Wow. And so I just believe in personal growth and development. I believe that you can never get to a level where you don't need somebody to help you. We're always growing, right? And so he really has been a fantastic mentor and coach for me. So
sorry guys.
So that's when I decided, okay, I need somebody to help me to get to that next level as an author, as a coach, as the best-selling book expert. And that's when he helped me to publish my titles to bestseller. And then I did this anthology with 20 other ladies. So this is my baby, Woman Rise, okay? Visionary author Rosie Thames, forward by Les Brown, who is one of He's a world-renowned motivational speaker. If you don't know about Les Brown, you need to know about Les Brown. And I had 20 amazing ladies that co-authored this book. And so this book is about being resilient and how to turn your adversity into your advantage. And so that's, this project was a 9-month project. We hit the ground running. We, had some amazing co-authors in that book to put this project together. Oh my gosh. The stories in this book is incredible. I mean, of course, you will shed some tears, but you're going to learn so much. You will be inspired by these ladies' story who has faced, some things in life. They overcame obstacles that some people would never, And so I love the stories in this book. And it's, each time somebody read this book and they give me feedback, like, Rosie, oh my gosh, this book is really changing my life. It is so powerful. I'm going to give you a copy as well. Yay! Yay! Yes. So this is your copy.
All right.
I will autograph it.
Yes. Autograph it.
Yes, ma'am. But it is an amazing project, and I have a few more projects coming out as well. And I will talk about that later if you want me to talk about it later or now. But I do have a couple more projects coming out. But that's what I'm displaying right now.
Gotta check them out, guys.
Yes.
So, and then all of this is where can we purchase these?
So they're on Amazon. Well, these books, let me tell you how anthology work. If you're not the visionary author, because the visionary has the book on Amazon, but if you purchase it on Amazon, they get the profit for it. So you will have to purchase it directly from me to get the profit. Now this book is on Amazon as well. If you purchase it on Amazon, I get the profit because I'm the visionary for this book.
Okay.
So it's on my publishing account in Amazon. So that's how that works. But I do have copies. So what I tend to do and what I like to do is, if I know you personally, I would rather, sign it, you can purchase it from me. That way, if for someone who, they live in the UK, they live in another state, they don't know me, yes, please go on Amazon. And
we'll have the links down in the description box.
Yes.
All right. So, okay, now you have also a YouTube channel.
I do.
You have Instagram, you have Facebook page, and I love your motivational videos. Y'all need to check out her YouTube channel as well, and that is under what?
That is under Coach Rosie Thames, the best-selling book expert.
Okay, so check it out. She does have motivational videos on all your platforms. Mm-hmm. So I love to listen to them. They do motivate me, and that's one reason why I'm like, what I'm doing here with this channel is like, you get those doubts. Sometimes you're like, girl, you ain't gonna do nothing with this. And then you listen to her motivational videos, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna keep doing it.
That's good. That's good.
Did you intentionally want to just motivate women entrepreneurs, or did that happen organically?
Organically. It did happen organically. I've been doing inspirational videos and motivational videos for a while, but I know I needed to niche down. And I was thinking, what am I going to niche down to? I'm just going to be women. But then I realized that there is a group of women like myself who are entrepreneurs, we're career women that need support. We need motivation. It can get a little lonely out there as an entrepreneur. And so I decided to cater much more to women entrepreneurs who are putting in the work. They don't get seen sometimes, they don't get the visibility. And so I believe, and sometimes it's so easy to give up when you're doing so much and you're not seeing the fruit of your labor as quick as you want it to come, to come about. And I just want to encourage women in business, women entrepreneurs, to keep doing what you're doing. One day, the work that you put in, it's going to just explode. You just never know when. People are, just like she said, she's noticing me, you know?
Right.
I'm out there doing my thing and I'm just having fun with it. And sometimes I do have to push through some things to get in front of a camera and do my videos. I do have life happening to me as well. And so, but I know that at some point, somebody's gonna see it. Somebody's gonna be inspired. Somebody is gonna resonate with someone, and it's so refreshing to hear you say that.
Yeah, because we're not always lucky to hear another person say, "What you're doing is helping me."
Right.
But if we just keep on doing what you're doing, if you love what you're doing, then it's worth it either way. You may not hear it, but it's worth it either way.
Yes, and it makes me, realize that, Rosie, just keep doing what you're doing because somebody is watching. Somebody is, it's doing something in somebody else's life. So thank you so much for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Yes.
So you motivate me, and hopefully a lot of other women that unknown names, right? Who motivates you? Do you have somebody you look up to?
Oh, wow. So, wow. I can tell you now, one of my biggest mentor, and I know she knows this, but Brenda Ott. She's actually my mentor for real. But the reason why I want to mention her now, and I know I'm helping her with her book and everything like that, but like I said, I'm going through some really challenging times in my life. I'm actually going through a divorce, and that's a story. That's my story being written. So, as challenging as it is, it's a story being written. So it's not going to be wasted at all. But I tell you, the fact that we are in this office right now is because of Brenda. I didn't even conceive having my own office. I have two ladies who are, my office mates and stuff like that. But I just remember, after joining Women Unlimited and I signed up for the $50 workspace because I realized that I couldn't work at home anymore. The energy there wasn't the best. I couldn't focus. I needed an environment that can inspire me and motivate me to work, to do what I need to do to be productive, right? And so I signed up for the $50 workspace. I was coming here, I was like loving it. And then she said, "You need your own office."
You need your own office.
I was like, "Wait, my own office? Like an office?" Yes. I was like, "Okay." And then we were looking for offices, and actually we had an office across the hallway, but it was like really small. And I'm like, already I could tell I'm gonna outgrow this office. So me and my office mate, I told her, I was like, I'm gonna keep on looking. And I just envisioned, the atrium look.
I know, this is beautiful.
It's beautiful down there. I said, one day I'm gonna get this atrium look, this atrium background. And lo and behold, something
we're
came.
doing the interview right
Yes, it came available. We not only have, two people, we have a third person. So, and then us working together, it's just happening. So I just thank Brenda for what she's doing in Women Unlimited and to motivate and push us to become our better self. You need somebody. I call her the mother eagle. A baby eagle can only fly if that mother eagle pushed them out the nest.
Right. She's good at that. She's good at that.
And I feel like she's pushing me out my nest. I need somebody to push me. And so I just sorry, I'm getting emotional.
That's okay. Barbara Walters. Eat your heart out. I'm getting this good.
You are getting it good, girl. Yes. But I know that when I look back to this moment, Brenda, Women Unlimited, everyone that I have met here was God ordained for me, for this journey to help me. I need a support group to get me to where I need to be, to the next level. And so I'm eternally grateful to her and to the organization, to the women here. Every one of them, they know who they are, that I've come in contact with. Even yourself, okay? Because you're part of this journey too. Everyone that I've met so far, it is definitely intentional. It was meant to be. And so I'm grateful that she's the one that is really my motivator right now. My motivator. Yes, ma'am.
Brenda Ons, you better be listening to these. You better be one of my subscribers. I have been trying to get Brenda Ons to do one of these. I know she's super busy. She is so busy helping others, but let's corner her and get her to do one of these interviews. I would love for everybody to hear her story as well.
Yes,
and to learn more about Women Unlimited. It's a great resource. But this is about you. So let's get back to you. Okay, so back to writing. Publishing strategist, right? How do you help people publish their books?
So basically, I help them become publishers, self-publishers. So I use Amazon. Why not? They're the number one bookstore in the world.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody buys from Amazon.
Listen, you have to work smarter, not harder. Okay. I was talking to a potential client yesterday, and I'm like, yeah, it's cool. Looks cool, I guess, to have your book in a local bookstore, but Amazon is the number one platform.
Right.
Take advantage of that. Learn the strategies to succeed on their platform. So that's what I focus on mostly. I focus on publishing books through Amazon. So what I do for my clients is I help them to become a self-publisher. You set up a free account in Amazon. How many people know that it's free to set up an account in Amazon to publish your book? And I help them, I give them the strategies of becoming a best-selling author. So that, to set up your book, your publishing account in Amazon is free. To become a bestseller, you need the strategies that I have to become a bestseller, pretty much. So you're going to need somebody to coach you through that because, there are things that you need to know. So that's basically what I do is to help them become a self-publisher, do what I do. I teach them to become a mini me.
Right. And is this any genre or is it just self-help and
any genre?
Any genre.
Yes, nonfiction, fiction, all that. Any genre.
Okay. Well, because I've done self-publishing myself.
Oh, good.
And it's not easy.
It's not.
It is not easy, guys. So, what do potential clients have to have before they come to you? Do they have to have a manuscript already ready?
No, actually, you just have to have a story. Which you are already telling you, everybody has a story, right? And you have to have a desire to want to tell that story. Like I said, I do work with people that don't think that they have a story or they don't think they have a story powerful to tell, and I have to show them the vision. I have to, help them with that mindset. And I had a lady that told me one time, well, Rosie, I don't have a story to tell. And she is a lady that's, more mature, like older than me, basically. And I started to ask her some question, and she started to be personal with me as far as telling me that she has lost a child, and and then I'm like, ma'am, you do have a story. You know how many women would like to hear your story of how you lost a child, and now look at you, how you overcame that trauma, So a lot of times people don't know that they have a story, but I help them to see that. But as long as you have a story, you good. That's all you need. You have a story. We game. We're game.
Definitely, it's just the confidence to say, so it's worth writing it down.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, lastly, what are all your social media platforms? How best to get a hold of you if somebody's like, I want to tell my story.
Right. So right now, my website is under construction. I hope to get it out within the next month. But you can reach me on Instagram, Facebook. I do have my scheduling, my booking link right there for anyone who wants to reach me. You can book a complimentary 60-minute bestseller strategy session. And
nice.
So basically, it has some questions because I would love to, get some information beforehand so I could prepare for the meeting. So you can click that. I have it on Instagram. My Instagram handle is the Bestselling Book Expert, or you could find me as Coach Rosie Thames on there as well. That link is right there. Facebook, the same thing. You just click that link, and I also have a business page on Facebook that you can reach me as well. And then the YouTube channel. I don't think I have a contact thing on YouTube channel. I may have to check, but. You can reach me, or you can call me at 210-931-0640. My email address is coachrosiethames@gmail.com.
And we'll have all of that in the description box, as well as probably under right here. I'll have her phone number and everything on the screen. And you are located here also in the urban offices.
That's correct.
So the address here is
84 Northeast Loop 410.
Okay, the urban office, suite number 294.
Yes.
Right. Brand new office. She's getting it done, but by the time this video airs, is uploaded to the channel, she'll have everything all set up. No worries about that.
Yes.
And Sarah Elizondo was here, so the episode right before here was also at this building.
Right.
So,
nice.
Yeah, we've had a lot of women here in the urban office building with the Women Unlimited. And hopefully we'll get Brenda on here.
Yes.
We need to start telling her I need to interview her.
Yes,
Right.
ma'am. And I do want to talk about one promotion that I'm having. I do have several promotions. You talk about being in Jamaica. So I am, with the woman that I've been working with, I am going to do a retreat next year in Jamaica. So I will tell you more about that.
I want to go.
Yay. So, and then I am working on another project for Woman Rise. It's with special needs mom. But it's going to be Woman Rise Special Mom Edition. So if you know any special needs mom that would like to tell their story, please send them my way. If you are one, please connect with me. I would love to interview you and to get to know more about you and your story and tell you what the project is all about. Well, we're gonna have some exciting times coming up because me and my ladies, we're gonna, be going on retreats and trips and cruises because we like to have fun as well.
Yes. We definitely have to subscribe to her YouTube channel as well, so she can keep you updated on all of that.
Yes.
That sounds fantastic.
Oh. Fun. I love to have fun.
Yes. Oh, that's exciting news. I can't wait to see everything that you're going to be doing this coming year.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be epic.
Well, thank you so much for doing this with me.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
It's really a pleasure. It was so
and
much
I
fun.
love your office. I love your office here.
Thank you.
It's beautiful.
So gorgeous.
So, okay, if anybody is in the area, drop by Urban Offices and meet with Coach here and get your story out.
That's right.
So if you are still with me here at the end of this video, thank you so much for staying. The information I have is that all of this that I do, these interviews for these small businesses, is totally free. Totally free. And if you want to support all the stuff that I'm doing here for these small businesses, please can you go up there, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and share. Like Brenda always says, share. That way we can get their names out there. Also, if y'all have somebody that you know that has a small business that would benefit from having this free service done here in an interview, get to know them, the more people that get to know your story,
Yes.
right? Through these interviews of your small business, your journey to your small business, the connections you make, the more people will want your service. So that's what I'm trying to do here with this channel. So if you know somebody like that can benefit, please put them down in the comment below, or you can contact me through my email, which is smallbizspotlight210@gmail.com. So please join me next episode, next Thursday, which will be Lara Garcia, another limited person.
Oh, she's amazing.
Yes, and if you want help with traveling, she's a travel person to go to.
She is.
So we'll have that also. So y'all have a great Thursday and have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye. And yes, this is Small Biz Spotlight 210 Season 2. Yay! Thank you so much for joining us again for this new season. I can't wait to show you everything that I have planned for y'all. It's going to be super, super great. And I've gotten out to the surrounding areas. Yay! I am in Von Army. So Atascosa County.
Atascosa County, yeah.
Okay. So I'm getting there, guys. Thank you to all of you for all of your support, for you who are returning. For those that are new to me, what I'm trying to do with this channel is to put a spotlight on small businesses in San Antonio and in the surrounding areas. Okay, so if you love to support small businesses, if you want to start buying local, this is the channel to subscribe to. So tell your friends, your family, everybody, come and subscribe to Small Biz Spotlight 210 so I can give you some information on some small businesses that we can, get together and help support, because that's going to be really, really needed. Small biz is not... what would you say? Like, small biz is big business, right? Because it's so important.
Because that's where you impact people's lives the most. I believe is supporting small businesses.
Okay, so this is a channel. So go ahead and give me a thumbs up and a subscribe, please. And stay afterwards because I have some more information to share with y'all. Okay, so let's get to today's episode. I do have Melissa here, and she has this fantastic. Okay, let's just get to it because it's awesome, and I can't wait to show you the machinery that she's got to use. Okay, so Melissa, full introduction.
So my name is Melissa Crook, and I own this company called Crook. And I was born and raised in San Antonio. I left for a little bit when I joined the military, lived in Washington, Georgia, and El Paso, and then came back to San Antonio in 2007. And I've actually been working in the trade that I was trained for in the military, which is aircraft mechanic, specializing in troubleshooting electrical systems on airplanes. And I've been doing that for about over 20 years. And so 20-year mark in aviation, I was kind of starting to think about retiring. So in that process, I was doing some research on company options, what I could do. And I've always had like a creative niche in there somewhere, and that was always been my outlet, working at it, come home and make something. So I liked painting, crafting, putting anything with bows and flowers and stuff on there. So when I started researching stuff on laser business, it really caught my attention, and so that's when I purchased my first laser, which was that smaller one. in the corner there.
We'll take a look at all this stuff later.
So I bought that one about almost 3 years ago. I've had it already, and I had it for about 6 months, and then I decided, let's do this. Let's open up the LLC. So that's when I opened up my Crown and Crook company, and it's just been taken off ever since.
Awesome. Okay, well, first of all, before I ask any further questions, I want to thank you so much for your service.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
What branch of the military? You said?
Navy.
Navy. Wow. Did you have to go in a submarine?
No, but I went on an aircraft carrier.
Wow.
Well, it was only supposed to be for 6 months, but we got extended to 7 months because we were actually out there during 9/11. We were on our way actually back home during 9/11, and we got 9/11 happened, and then they turned us right back around, and then we went straight back into the Gulf and just kind of sat there for a couple of weeks, deciding, waiting for the word to see what was going to happen next. So that was pretty scary.
Wow, I bet. Well, thank you so much for everything that you've done for us.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you. So, okay, how did that transition come apart? That's kind of hard from military service to then your own business.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but like I said, I've always had a creative side, and then the military, that training brought out the, I guess, kind of like nerdy tech side that I have in me too. So, actually, like maintaining the machines, cutting down the wood, sweating in the garage. I haven't had the AC all this time. I just got it a few minutes ago. So it was, so that.
You went through the whole summer without AC?
I've gone through 2 summers without AC.
Oh
This is the first summer. I had probably I got it, I want to say probably in July, maybe June, July, some of that time frame. So I did have to do that 2 summers before, and then all the way up until June, July time frame is when I got it. So yeah.
Well, okay.
But
That's
all of
hard.
that kind of like that determination and that training and that, discipline tech side of it is kind of what helps me.
No fear.
Yeah, exactly.
No fear.
It's like a big machine like this, and I get it asked all the time, like for my paint parties. Everybody's, does your husband cut the signs? I'm like, no, I could do everything.
Listen.
I can help like pulling the piece of plywood down off the truck, but that's not it.
Listen, we love our men, but you know what? Women can do things. We can do things.
So the military actually helped me reiterate that whatever it is that we need to get done, we can do it. We have that.
Sure. If you have that drive to do it, that want to do it, the love, right? Because everything that a small business does is for the love of it, and that we can do it.
Yeah,
you can do it. Okay, so how did you come up with the name?
So, my maiden name is Reina, that means queen. So that's where the crown comes from. And then, and my husband's last name is Crook. So I married into Crook. So that's where we got
Crown and
Crook.
That's pretty good.
So
I like that.
Like a unique name because we don't ever have to worry about like patent trademarks.
Right.
People would have that combination.
That's pretty good. Yeah, I love that. Okay, so So you said you were always a crafty person?
Yeah, so I've always been a crafty person. In school, like my favorite subjects were art and science. So I've always had a good time painting something or making wreaths or just sewing, whatever. You know, anything that was craft related, I always had a craft quarter, like kind of ribbon.
It drew you to it. But what was it about wood that drew you to these?
So I had a lot of fun myself painting these, because when I originally started the business, I was doing vendor markets and I was making and selling these. So this process never felt like work to me. It was, even when I still get an order and I make them today, like it's just very, very, that process is very relaxing to me. You know, the machine, I can get frustrated with it and I get a little intimidated with it, cut settings, you know, trying things out here and there. But once I sit myself down and I start thinking about color combinations and I start putting the paint on the wood, it's just, it takes me to somewhere, you know, I can't describe it, but it just takes me somewhere. And so when I was selling these, people would say, you know, I wonder if I could, I saw people taking pictures of them and, you know, I kind of got an idea what they were doing. They were trying to figure out how to make it on their own, you know. So I said, well, I have so much fun doing this, you know, I should start, you know, offering that as a part of my business. Right. And so that's where I started. I started doing it last year in November. I just hit my 1-year anniversary of doing paint parties. So it came, you know, I've seen it in other laser makers, a few, not a whole lot of people do it, but a few people do paint parties with these, where they cut everything, they look kind of similar to this, where everything's just loose, just like that, and then they take all the supplies, like, so I got my process down, where I have everybody order something. I take the signs, they look like this, I give a demonstration, I take all the supplies, I take aprons, I take brushes, basically everything you would need to do this process, and paints and everything. And then they spend a couple of hours with me painting, and I got so much good feedback from this paint party.
Because, you know, like, I like to think of myself as crafty, but, you know, I'm not. I'm not. I can have the image in my head, but from here to what I'm trying to put together, it doesn't work. So for somebody like me, you have these already all done, which these are fantastic, guys. It comes with instructions step by step, and you get to pick what you want, the theme and everything.
You get to pick usually for paint parties, I have about 30 different designs that I offer per party, and they'll tell me, you know, can you offer a little bit more of this, or can you offer a little bit more of this, or, you know, we want more fall than Christmas, we want more country themes, we want more religious themes, we want more Christmas themes at this party, stuff like that, you know.
This is fantastic. So everything comes separate. They get to paint it, and then they glue it on there, and then you have a finished product. It's like this. Isn't that great?
And you'd be surprised on how many people that tell me the same thing like you told me, like, I'm not good at this, or I'm not crafty, or I'm like, okay, well, every piece is laid out for you, right? It's separate. I even have an inspiration picture for you. So I always tell people, you can follow the inspiration picture, or you can customize it 100% however you want. And I get like half and half. You know, half people, they say, I want to paint it just like the picture. Okay. Or some people say, oh, I'm going to do this and change a couple of, and then some people just
okay, yeah. So you have different paints and everything.
Absolutely.
So guys, you don't have to do it like the picture. If you've got a certain kind of like color theme, at your home,
you can.
That is fantastic. Let's get lit. That's what they said.
Some of these are kind of snarky, like this one says leave.
Live, laugh, leave. Live, laugh, leave. Oh my God, instead of
that one's actually pretty popular. That one gets ordered
really? Yeah. Can you imagine this one at the front door? At your front door. That is so funny.
People, like I said, that have had, they tell me they're not crafty at all.
Yeah.
some people tell me that they have attention deficit disorders like ADD, ADHD. I've had people tell me that, and they have a good time, and they said was able to complete the project, and I had a great time.
Wow.
You know, it's so when I was making these, I customized this I could sell you this just one, and I'd make you happy, right? But when I go to a paint party, I can have anywhere from like 5 to maybe 30 something people painting at a time, right? So I'm bringing joy to 30 something people. So the joy that I can bring selling this is just one. Doing paint parties, that joy is almost exponential that I could bring to the place. You know what I mean? So that's where I found the love for this, because I see people's reaction at the end of the party, and when they tell me like I said, I'm not a crafty person, they come in with a little bit of anxiety. I said, just relax, everything's gonna be okay. Just take your time.
Yeah.
If everything's laid out for you.
Yeah, because there's really not a wrong way to do this. You know, whatever colors you pick is great, and you have everything. Because I mean, in order to buy, like, even with the Cricut, that's expensive. And then to try and do this with wood, that's even more expensive.
Oh yeah. So, I mean, and so people are just, you know, really, really happy with the experience, and that's where my drive comes from. Like you said, the love that, you know, some days I'm tired and I just find a way to just keep, you know, like I got paint party this weekend, and these are all signs that I cut, and probably got to double that before the end of the
I'll show you all that in a little bit. Girl, over here. Sorry. No, but the thing that I love is that it is wood. And
yeah, so you're getting a really durable product.
Right.
It's going to last a long time. You know, and so at the end of the class too, I have some instructions on here on what you can do to seal it up, to protect it, and stuff like that. There's some instructions on there. So usually I tell them, you know, spray a clear sealer on there, stuff like that. So yeah.
very durable, guys. This will last you a couple of years, and then you don't have to, buy something new every year. This is gonna last you.
You can hang them inside. You can hang them on the door. People give them as gifts.
Gift giving, a good because you have other designs and stuff, so it could be baby shower. It's a girl. It's a boy.
Oh, I do have one that says "baby sleeping."
Oh, that'll be good. You see, and then
so I do have these coming out. So what I wanted to do was like an ornament bar, where people can come and they pick out a few ornaments. They're gonna come like this. This is shrink wrap, but this is basically it's this. So you can leave it in the piece of wood right here, and you would paint this, all these little pieces, and then pop them out, and then glue it onto this.
oh,
Okay. I have even where you're gonna get a string. You're gonna get a little ball of glue. You'll be able to pick like 5 paints. I'm gonna add a couple of paint brushes in there, and you'll be able to pick a ribbon and a bead.
Christmas 2025. All right. Oh, this is so cute. Now these will also last you. You could probably have these as heirlooms, actually.
Yeah, so last Christmas, I didn't get them out in time, but last Christmas, what we did as a family is I cut a whole bunch of blanks out, and we spent an evening painting ornaments with my husband and my kids, drinking hot chocolate and watching Christmas movies and stuff. So that was really fun. So that's what my hope is with these is people can take, enough for their family, and they can spend the night, an evening or day, whatever, painting.
Yeah, that's meaningful memories. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you do offer this just for groups, like how small, how big?
So my minimum is 5 for a private party, because I do go all over San Antonio and the surrounding areas too. This weekend I have one in Somerset Coffee House. So I do public events too.
Oh, nice.
So public events help other small businesses get noticed.
Mhm.
You know, so we collaborate together and host an event together and say, you know, this will bring people through the door, keep them there for a couple hours if we want to offer like drinks and food and stuff like that for them to purchase while they're painting. And then I do the private parties too. But for that one, the minimum is 5, and then I get always asked like, what's your max? You know, or maximum. And it's just I always tell people whatever your space will allow. You know, I had one customer where she moved like all of her furniture out of the living room for her event, and she had about 20 people show up.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm like, whatever your space holds.
Okay, nice. Whatever. Big families. That's good.
Yeah, so they had a good time. It was like a big family get together, and you could hear the conversations. They hadn't seen each other in a long time, so they were asking, you know, what's going on with so and so? How is so and so? I haven't seen so and so forever. You know. So it's kind of fun to see.
That
too.
is a great idea for family events. So you can even have these for like co-workers.
Yep.
a
So we've
business.
actually had corporate events too. We were invited out to one of the departments for security service. So we did a day out there, and they in their department they had about 30, I want to say 35, 37 employees in that one department. So we had spent about, you know, the first half of the day they came in about 15. They split it in half, and then they painted all their signs, and then we had lunch, and then the second half of the day we did the other half. Yeah, we did corporate events, team building.
And for like church.
So we've done churches. I actually have a church next weekend out in Atkins.
Oh, okay.
Texas.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah.
Wow, that's getting out there.
I go everywhere.
That's fantastic. And you take all your supplies with
everything.
you.
Mm-hmm. Take everything with me.
Paint and everything.
If you need, I always take a table for my supplies. I take all the signs, paints, aprons, gloves, everything.
And so everything is pre-cut. How do people like? How far in advance will we need to book with you?
So I always tell people a month is good. If you can at least give your people, I don't know, 3 weeks is good too. 2 weeks is kind of, I tell people 2 weeks is kind of like really, really close. People might already have plans for that day, something like that, you know. But
It's cutting it kind of close.
yeah, but I'd say like anywhere from a month to 3 weeks is a good time frame to get your party together to book, you know, the date. And my my calendar fills up, especially for the weekend days. Oh yes, my calendar gets full. So if you have a weekend day in mind, it's good to book it even further out, just so that you're guaranteed that day. Because I'm already booking into February.
Wow.
The Galentine's events.
Yeah.
So those are really popular. So everybody was wanting to get Galentine's Day in the books. So yeah.
Okay, so book at least a month to 3 weeks at the minimum, guys, to make sure you get exactly what you want. And then, so do you have a website so they can order which
Yes.
template they want?
So it's crownandcrook.com. And in my logo it's spelled with the N, it's ampersand thing. But in the website it's actually spelled out N. So it'd be crownandcrook.com.
Okay.
And normally, the way I have it set up right now, I don't know what it would be like when this airs, but right now the way I have it set up is I have a Square account, and so people, they set up the party, the date, the address, and make them a payment link, and then it shows you an image with the 30 designs on there, and each one is numbered, and so they would just type in the number of the sign that they want to paint that day.
And then how many are in the party?
What do you mean?
Like if they want 30 of these, but maybe there's only 25 people, do we have to add how many people are going to be there?
Yeah, so each one I normally tell, I make the payment link and I send it to them, and I tell it's best to have everybody just order their individual. Sometimes I'll have people like bulk order, like they'll just take everybody's orders and they'll say, okay, I got, this many, whatever, number.
Because sometimes we have that one family member that
to be in
says,
charge of everybody, right?
or like, that one looks better than mine. Why did you get that one?
So in that case, I always, every event, I always take extras. So, every event, whether it's public or whether it's a private party, I always, because we'll have that one family member that comes at the last minute and she sees everybody having fun, or he or she, whatever, and they'll say, that looks like fun, I wish I would have. And I'm like, well, I got a solution, I got extras.
Oh, good.
Or if they want to trade out, they say,
Right.
What do you
I
have
like
for
that
extras?
one.
Can I switch out? I'm like, yeah, you can go look for the extras and see what I have. If you see one that you like more, then switch out.
That's good. So if y'all want to see some of her get-togethers, I know I've seen you on Instagram. On Instagram, she has some videos of a huge group of people getting together. They look like they're having an amazing time. And
yeah, I have people that they'll start dancing and they'll start singing and then they'll go back to painting.
Yeah.
I'm like, whatever you want to do, it's your
Right. Oh,
you
can have it to where you have, like you said, a family gathering with food and or
absolutely.
girls' night out, and it's drinks.
Yeah, because this is all self-paced. So it's, I tell people you'll have plenty of time to chit chat, to sip, to dance, whatever you want to do. And then in between, so you paint all this, right? And then you have to give it a few minutes to dry anyway. So I'm like, in between it drying, go get some food or something like that, and that's what people do.
How many hours do you usually take per event?
So it depends on if people are eating and sipping, especially if they're sipping. They tend to take a little longer, but people can be done under 2 hours. Okay. If they're sipping and stuff like that and having a good time, it takes about 3. But I always tell people just plan for 3. You have me for the 3 hours. I take about 30 minutes to set up, about 15 minutes to take down, but you have me for the 3 hours.
Okay. All right, so for more information, and you have your website, it's Crown and Crook.
C-R-O-O-K.
Crown and Crook. I'll have it right here, the website, and on Instagram. Where else are you on?
I'm on Facebook and I'm on TikTok.
All right. So as always, guys, I will link all of that down in the description below, and including the website, so you can go and check that out. So do y'all want to go look at this big old machine back here? I want to take a look at it. Okay. Would you be able to?
Yeah, sure. I'll tell you. Oh, I was going to show you a couple of the other things that we still do. We niche down into the paint parties, but we still do some custom orders. This was my original claim to fame, was the QR code keychains.
Oh,
so I do QR code keychains for small businesses. It's like a digital card. So if you want to share your information, all you have to do is just have the person scan the QR code so that you don't have to carry around business cards. Some people still want a business card, but a lot of times you can just share that information.
Yeah, because everybody has their phone readily, and you're just.
And then we do cups. We do. I think you found me through WUSA. Did you find me through Women?
Right.
So I do cups, and then I'm sponsoring their. I'm a member of their advisory board, so I'm sponsoring their engraved cup, their purple cups.
Oh, their tumbler. You did that.
So I'm sponsored for that. But this one is mine. This is what I'm a big fan of llamas for some reason. I don't know why, but this is my favorite cup. So when that's the perk of being a business owner, right? You get to make yourself some freebies.
Exactly.
Some freebies you get to enjoy. And then we also do leather patch hats.
Ooh.
So this is leatherette. This is my old logo. And then this was just this one's funny. And then
Small biz.
and then this one is also engraved, but it's acrylic. And so it's an acrylic patch hat. So that was really fancy. So we still do that. My son actually took over that portion of it for me. So whenever I get a hat order, I pass it on to him, and he makes the hats for me. So yeah, so we do that, and then I still cut blanks out for earrings. So I made the earrings. So my daughter actually is the one that took over the earrings, because I still have like a lot of acrylic scraps from people asking for business signs. So then when I have scraps left over, I'll just cut her a bunch of earrings, and then she'll put them together and sew them too. So she took over that portion of it for me.
That's good. Yeah. Versatile. This is pretty amazing. This is great. And then they'll have it all the time with them in the keychain. That is fantastic. I like that. I think I'm going to get one of those. All right. Okay, so now, now let's go look at this stuff.
Okay.
All right. Wow.
So I make sure that the first thing I do is I make sure that it's in focus, the laser's in focus. This is my little tool that makes sure that it's in focus. That's what I was doing. I just lining it up, and then I send the image over from the computer, and then I load the image into the laser, and then I tell the laser where I want it to start the project at, which is right there, and then I just frame it.
And it starts doing it.
And then it starts doing it, yeah.
Wow.
It's pretty quick. It said the ornament was going to take about like a minute to cut out, a minute and a half is what it said.
No wonder you put the cover over, because that's sparking. Wow. Oh my goodness, I can watch this forever.
As many times as I've seen it, I don't get tired of watching it either.
Right? Look at that. What do y'all think, guys? Should she start making videos? You should make some videos of showing this project. You have?
But I get so busy that I lose track of videotaping the actual process being done. And that's it.
Wow.
And you just move it out. So since this is an ornament, we don't want this part to be completely out just like this. What's going to happen is you have a couple of spots in here that were skipped, and that was intentional because you're going to paint it while it's on the wood, and then you're going to pop it out so that the pieces don't get lost. So these are so small for you.
Oh my goodness. That's fantastic. Yay. And that one is for me, guys. All right. Okay guys, so thank you so much for staying to the end of the video. I got my ornament that you just made me with the little supplies in the back so I can do it at my casita. All right. So thank you so much. It was fantastic having you interviewed. This is a veteran-owned, woman-owned, Latina-owned, everything. So please, all her information is going to be in the description box below. So get a hold of her for a great, fantastic ideas for the crafty, not so crafty people like myself. Okay guys, thank you for staying. Again, like I said, to the end of this video. The information that I have for you is this. Okay, so please go up there and give me a thumbs up and a subscribe. I do this for small businesses free of charge, so that helps me tremendously because you know the YouTube algorithm needs to have those likes and subscribes so we can help them out and get their business name out there. Okay, also, if any of you would like to be on my channel, it could be artisan, crafter, vendor, small business, restaurant, all of that, artists. Go ahead and email me at smallbizspotlight210@gmail.com. Okay guys, so email me and let me know what you have, what you do, all your social media kind of information, and then I'll get back to you. All right, so next week, okay, this is for the people that are addicted, because I'm very addicted. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm addicted to this coffee. Yes, I have Brujeria coffee with Julian. So that is going to be great. I'm going to get my coffee fix there. So please join us next Thursday for you coffee lovers. All right. Thank you so much. Y'all have a great Thursday and a great weekend. And please hit the subscribe and like and tell your friends. Thank you so much. Bye.
And thank you.
I'm Lidia Rodriguez, and this is Small Biz Spotlight 210. So thank you so much for joining me for another episode. And for any of you who are new to me, what I'm trying to do with this channel is exactly what the title says, is to put a spotlight on small businesses in San Antonio and the surrounding areas. So here we are again in the WUSA, Women Unlimited of San Antonio, office buildings and urban office building. And with today's guest, it's super important, so go ahead, pause the video, get a paper and pen, because this is for everybody. Very important information. I have today Johanna Dobbins.
Yes.
From Optimized Business Management.
Yes.
Now you may think that this doesn't pertain to you, but it does.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
So if you can please stay till the end of this video, please. I do have some important information to share with all of y'all. So today we have Johanna Dobbins from Optimized Business Management.
Yes.
Okay, so Johanna, full introduction, name, family, everything.
Okay, so hello everybody. Like she said, my name is Johanna Dobbins and I am with Women Unlimited also. And I have a business called Optimized Business Management. And basically what that means is I come in and I completely optimize your business from start to beginning. That includes from bookkeeping to taxes to payroll to you name it, and every intricacy within that.
Okay.
So it's basically within the business aspect and the finance aspect of your business. That's what I do.
That heavy lifting stuff.
The heavy lifting. So I always tell people I'm the money lady. So
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so were you born and raised here in San Antonio?
I was not born here. I was born in Central America in Honduras.
Oh, wow.
I came here at the age of 6 years old with my mother and my brother and sister. And I was raised here in San Antonio for the most part here. I grew up and I graduated from Southwest High School, so go Dragons. And after that I went into college. I went out to college and then the military. And then I moved back after the military, and then here I am now.
Oh, wow. So you were in the military
Yes.
with Brent.
I was in the Army. I did 8 years in the Army.
Oh
so,
my
yeah.
God. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much for
No,
your service.
thank you.
For everything you've done.
Thank you.
Wow. That's a big journey.
Yes, it has been. I kind of always knew that I was going to do the military, but due to an unfortunate accident, I did have to medically retire. If not, I would probably still be in there now, but life has a way of kind of changing things around for us. But that's okay. I have a great career now, and I'm fortunate.
Well, we're glad because you're going to help a lot of my viewers here. So, were you always interested? You knew you wanted to be in the military,
Yes.
but were you always interested in numbers?
Actually, the crazy thing is no. No, I went into college and I did Spanish literature because I was going to become a professor. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And but no, it turned out that my career path always led me into project management, and then from project manager I went into accounting, and then controller, and so on and so forth. So my career path is what actually led me to where I am now versus what my educational path went differently. But now I'm back in school, and because I currently do hold my certification through the NAC, it's called the NACPB, which is the National Association for Certified Public Bookkeepers. But I'm trying to get my CPA and all that, so while I'm doing all this, I'm also doing that now. So
Wow, that's
you have to keep in life. You have to keep going. You have to keep moving. You know what I mean?
Yes.
If not, you're just gonna stay behind. And I want so much more for my business and for Women Unlimited and for those who are within that I want to be able to provide so much more. So in order to do that, we have to continue growing.
Exactly, and there's always something to
Yes,
learn.
exactly.
I love that. There's always something to learn.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. So, how did you then come up with this business?
Well, when I first got out of the military, I didn't know exactly what to do. And then my brother started a construction business. And then I was like, okay. He's like, hey, he knew that I was always, in finance because of my military career. And then he asked me if I wanted to help him out. So I was like, you know what? Yeah, let me try and see how I can do. And now he owns a $500,000 company. You know what I mean? And this was almost 4 years ago. So it just one of those things that just kind of evolved from that. And I just started more clients, going into different services and exploring different things for myself as well. I truly believe in growing professionally as well as in every aspect of our lives. And bookkeeping was the first thing that I did, and then I went into HR and stuff like that because the services were needed by my clients, not just him. So as I continued to grow.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You were focused on that, but then the more your clients needed, the more you were willing to
continue
Wow.
adding my services. So and that's what I'm continuing to do now.
Wow. So how long have you been doing this?
Going on 4 years now. My own company itself, 4 years. I started as a sole proprietor, like anybody else. You know what I mean, taking from your W-2 to pay, your first business. You know what I mean, when you first get started, just like anybody else. And as it went, you know what I mean, I was able to branch out on my own and do my LLC and now I have my own company.
So did you have enough of the education you needed through the Army, or did you go to college, or is it
No,
just a certification?
my career in the Army was more in the science field. I was a CBRN specialist, which is chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear specialist. It's a whole different aspect of the world, but we still had budgets. We still had administrative things to do. So it was always within that same. But as I got out of the military, is when things really became more of a numbers type field for me. So.
Wow, yeah, that's big brain.
I like I said, I truly believe in learning, and like I said, that's one of the reasons why I'm now back in school, because the opportunity is there if we truly take it. You know what I mean? And it's up to us to just continue going. I truly believe that. So.
Wow, that's amazing.
Thank you.
Amazing. So, okay, so among the other things of being bookkeeping and payroll, you also take care of Social Security, disability,
Yes.
processing, and immigration.
Yes, like I said, as my business continued to grow, I saw a need for other things. Just like I do taxes, I do LLC formations, I run nonprofits, I do S corps, C corps, I run, I do immigration services, and then I do Social Security. I help people, in those terms, because those are the service. As my clients were coming in, they were asking me, well, do you do this or do you do that? And I believe that if I'm not the one who can do it, then I'm going to at least be able to provide somebody that can give it to them. But, my biggest thing is my clients have my trust.
Right.
That's my golden rule. So in order for me to be able to provide those services, I've been able to, I did some studying, and now I do have an actual company that I go through, and and I provide the Social Security in terms of if somebody hasn't, or if they haven't applied, they can apply, or if they're in the appeal process, we can help them in the appeal process, as well as with immigration. With immigration, currently right now, I have one client who is here in the United States, but wants to get his family who's in Mexico, so I'm helping them do that. We do petitions for, for asylum, visas, work visas. I mean, there's so many different services that I hope to continue providing, and that's one of the ones that is truly passionate for me, because I'm Hispanic. So, and just like, many Hispanics who come here, we come here to work, and we come here to continue giving back to the country that's given us. So, I hope to continue to be able to do that through those services.
That's amazing. I love that. So, what do you think would be the most misconception that people have about Social Security, disability?
That you have to accept the first determination. That's the biggest thing. And that goes with, because I've even helped people when they first get out of the military with their VA disabilities. I've helped with Social Security. You do not have to accept the first determination. You can appeal, and the appeal process is there for a reason. So please listen to me. If you are not happy with the determination that you received from Social Security or your VA, or whatever other entity that you are still dealing with, please contact me and let me know, because you do not have to. There's an appeal process, and as long as you provide the information that they are requiring, that is the biggest thing, is documentation. If you have documentation of your injuries or whatever it is that you're implying within your application, then we can appeal it, and 99.9% of the time it goes into your favor. I'm not gonna say every time,
Right.
but in most cases it does.
Because it's just like accepting the first diagnosis of a doctor.
Exactly.
We always should have
Exactly.
a second opinion.
And that is the biggest thing, is that people just, okay, well, that's what I got, and that is not, I mean, great if you get your 100% disability, great, you know what I mean, but if you did not, then there's got to be something, something going on there.
That's Great. And then what about the misconception about immigration services?
The biggest thing is that I'm gonna put one and two together. I get a lot of things that immigrants come here and that they don't pay taxes and they come here to take jobs and all that, and that is not true. I have so many clients of mine who have visas in Mexico, who have visas here, and they file taxes, and the biggest thing is they don't get any of these credits because that a U.S. citizen does, but yet they still have to pay taxes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the biggest misconceptions, because no, not everybody that comes to the United States and works here doesn't pay taxes. Yes, they do. There's a lot of immigrants that pay billions of tax money. So that's one of the biggest misconceptions, that no, that isn't, a lot of people think that they don't, but that is not true.
I had to get on disability when I had cancer. That's a whole other story. But anyways, I did do a lot of research because I was in the office all the time, and I did find that out, which I'm amazed that a lot of people don't know, is that as soon as they get here and they start working, they're paying taxes.
Yes.
And they don't get Social Security.
No. And for example, I have clients from Venezuela, from Mexico. They ask me to, their employers are asking for something what is called an I-10. An I-10 is kind of like a Social Security. They are able to work here in the United States legally. And at the end of the year, they still file a regular, they get a 1099 and they file their taxes and they pay the taxes. I'm sorry, but they don't get the credits that we get, as U.S. citizens. They just pay the taxes that are due. But yes, that's the biggest misconception, that they come here and that they don't pay taxes and they don't give back to their community and the society. That is not true. There's millions and millions of dollars being paid by immigrants that come here to work and continue giving back to the country, like I said, that's given them so much.
Okay, I'm glad that you mentioned that, because I could say it till I'm blue in the face, but if it's somebody professional like you says it, guys.
I see it firsthand.
Right.
I see it firsthand.
Okay, so let's get back to this. Right now, it is the middle of tax season.
Yes, it's the middle of tax season right now.
Do you take care of personal and?
Yes, I do personal taxes. I do business taxes. I do S corps. That's a little bit different than your typical small business tax. I do C corps and then nonprofit taxes, which is your typical 990 forms that are filled out. And then your small business taxes, those vary depending on how big your business is and all that, and additional forms that need to be filled out. But yeah, from your personal taxes to dealing with your your real estate and all that, your finances, to like I said, nonprofits and all that. So yeah.
Okay. So what do you find that is the biggest mistake that lay people like myself, I trying to do with taxes every year? What is our biggest mistakes that we make?
And this is I don't I'm gonna say it's a mistake, but this is something that we just tend to do because we're used to it. Is use the same bank account for our business that we do for our personal. That is the biggest mistake you can do. Whether you start a sole proprietor or you do an LLC or a DBA and you're going to start a business, even if you just open a separate bank account under your name, but it's your business account and you're just transferring from your W-2 money to that account. You're contributing money into that account, so you're expensing everything. It just makes it much easier at the end of the year to be able to tally all your expenses, everything you've invested, to show that you've invested your money from your W-2 to get this business going.
Yeah.
Trying to figure it out at the end of the year, what was personal, what was business, when it comes to gas and electricity and water and this meal and that meal, it makes it so much harder to try to figure out at the end of the year what was business and what was personal. That my biggest advice to anybody who starts any kind of business is start that second account. Whether you just started under your business name because you have your EIN already, or if you just open another just plain bank account under your name, do that and have all your expenses for your business come out of there. Because at the end, if you get audited, it's so much easier to show the IRS, yes, I had all these expenses, here's my receipts. And then everything these days is digital. So you don't have to be, carrying so many receipts. That's the biggest thing, So if you have everything in one place, it makes it easier when you're audited. Boom, 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 boom. It's right there. You're not trying to figure out all these different transactions from your personal account. So that would be my biggest advice.
Yeah, I found that out real quickly when I had my small business. It was such a pain.
Yes.
Because you're buying stuff for your business and it's coming out withdrawal, POS or something. And then for all my other bills, I didn't know who was what.
Yes.
At what day did you do the transaction? Sometimes the bank posts it as a different date.
Yes, it just, and then you have this deposit coming in from that deposit and this, and it just starts stacking and stacking and stacking and stacking. And it just makes it 10 times harder for me as a bookkeeper to try to disassemble all that and reorganize it to where it's legitimately in tax in your accounts.
And I tell you guys, from like I said, from experience, it is so much more easier. And not just that, but when you go to somebody like Johanna to do your taxes, if you have everything on your personal account, she or whoever you hire is gonna know everything that you buy.
Yes, everything.
Personal things.
Yes, everything.
And
that's okay. If you want us to know, hey, by all means.
She won't say nothing to anybody.
No, but it just makes things so much easier. And just keep in mind, that's one of the things that if you want to save yourself money too, because a lot of bookkeepers, myself included, that takes time, and time is money, and
the more confusing, the more hours
we have to spend in trying to decipher what everything is, trying to go through all this, the more time that we have to spend, figuring out where we have to allocate all these expenses is the more time that we have to charge. You know what I mean? But if you have everything in line, it makes things much easier, and we can give you one flat fee. Hey, it's gonna take me an hour or two to do your taxes because everything's already in line. But if we have to take time to actually go through your expenses and decipher and this and that, well, just like any other business, time is money.
Ooh. Okay. Very, very good point. Okay, so let's do the whole list. Bookkeeping, payroll, Social Security, disability processing, immigration services, personal and small business, taxes,
LLC formations, and then I also do
nonprofits,
HR benefit, in more in terms of pre-tax benefits like 401k and AFLAC and stuff like that. Then you do if you have a business and you're running payroll and you need to run your your pre-benefits before all that. That's one of the things that I do run for like my C corps or S corps businesses and things like that. So.
Wow. Okay. So for a potential client, what kind of paperwork do you want us to have ready?
Biggest thing is if you're barely starting, I just need your ideas. Give me your idea, and I will help you get your business started from the beginning to from getting your EIN to your business email to from start to finish. But if you're already an established business and you're looking for bookkeeping services, I would need basically a copy of some of your bank statements to kind of take a look at how many transactions you do. Do you have multiple bank accounts? Do you also do credit cards? Because some businesses have their business credit card. All that kind of falls into place. I would kind of need to take a look at the volume of business that you do, the type of business that you do. Sometimes, I'm not an expert in every single entity, so if it's not something that I don't feel comfortable with, but I can refer you to somebody that I know that might be better aligned for you. For example, I had a customer that needed a realtor, an accountant that specialized in realty. So, just like any other, just like, everyone has some specialties. So those would be some of the things that I would need to kind of take a look at to see if, where it would best suit, whether it be my services or something I would outsource, and if it would be my services, what can I offer you based on your needs?
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, I do find that one of the biggest things hurdles that I had to go through was, like, not just what was coming in, what was going out, but is it best to do quarterly? Is it best to wait annually, depending on how much
volume?
Right.
And there's different type of businesses. Is it something where you're having to pay sales tax quarterly? Is there something where it's just a service, where you're only providing a service and it's not something where you're having to keep inventory? I mean, there's all these intricate things that come into a business that, as a bookkeeper, as a potential CPA, I would need to have in order to determine, okay, this is the best, plan for you. Let's go this way. Let's do this. Let's do that. And I'm big on setting goals, on setting, and I'm big on following up and making sure that my clients are in line with what we have as their financial plan. I'm big on having a financial plan for my clients and that we follow and we stay in line.
That's remarkable, because I wish I had you when I had my business. Because all of this stuff, you're pulling your hair, trying to figure out everything, and then you're
it's
like,
a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. I'm not gonna say no. It's a lot. When you first open a business, something as simple as how do I start a line of credit for my business? Being able to answer something like that. What kind of account should I open? How do I manage, my expenses? Nowadays, there's so many apps that people can use to help them. This is just, a little tidbit, an extra that I will give you guys. There's apps like Expensify, apps like Wave, WAVE. They will even link your bank account to the app, and you can start, allocating some of your expenses.
Wow.
So at the end of the year, and a lot of them cost under $10. $10. And I think Wave is $5, and I think Expensify is $10. You can link it to your bank account and start allocating some of these expenses. So at the end of the year, when you come see me, you have everything in line, and boom, we can finish out your taxes in an hour or two. It won't take that long.
Wow.
So just a quick tip for anybody who is just starting their business and you're like, okay, how do I allocate my expenses? And I'll be the first to show. I teach a tax class usually at the end of the year, and one of the biggest things that I try to show is apps like this, where you can scan receipts. You can scan receipts. You can have,
wow.
It's an accounting. You can do receipts, transactions right from your bank account. You can link it directly, and you can say, oh, okay, this was for this. This was for, this was for gas, or this was for meals. This was for whatever it is that you're expensing. You can do it right from your phone.
Because the more detail, the better.
Yes, and at the end of the year, you can just send your tax accountant all your reports. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to be your full bookkeeping, because to bookkeeping, there's a lot. There's profits and loss statements and all that. It's not going to give you all that, but for your end of the year tax purposes, that is one tip that I do my best to let everybody know about.
Yeah. And for my how can I say this? Okay, guys, there's no way to say it other than this. If you open a business, that's fantastic. But if you happen to miss some kind of payment, you don't pay your sales tax, something like that, you get in big trouble.
Yes.
You know, you can get into some big trouble.
Yes. I'll give you an example. One big one is your comptroller account, Texas comptroller account. It's a yearly report that you have to do. If you didn't make over X amount of dollars, then you don't pay. But either you can do it, you still have to file it. And if you do not file it, you will receive a bill the next year, letting you know that you did not file and that you have to pay. And those bills are between $500 to $2,000. This year, I was able to help one of my clients. His bill was $1,550. And actually, Juan, the gentleman who was here earlier today, he was one of my clients, and we got it down to $50. You know what I mean? Because we were able to fight it and appeal it. And but again, if you find yourself in situations like that when you don't file, contact someone who is in taxes, contact me, contact someone who knows a little bit more about this that can help you get out of it. Because either pay $50 or $1,550. So it's a big difference.
Yeah.
But yes, that's a big thing. If you don't file your reports, the fees are big.
And they don't let you go. They'll keep contacting you. And
They will. So yes. The
Okay.
comptroller's big.
All right. So how do we get a hold of you?
Again, my name is Johanna Dobbins, and my phone number is 210-243-0648. My email is optimizebusinessmgmt. And again, you can look me up on Facebook under Optimized Business Management. I do have an Instagram and all that, but I'm not big on social media other than Facebook and my website, but you can contact me directly through the website, optimizebusinessmanagement.com. And again, my phone number 210-243-0648. I'm here to answer any questions. Please just either send me a message, let me know. I'm happy to answer.
All right. And as always, guys, if y'all didn't catch that, I probably had the phone number here on the screen, and I will have all the rest of her information down at the description box, as always.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much, Anna,
Thank
for doing this.
I'm so glad I got to let everybody know a little bit about taxes and everything that kind of comes in between that.
Everybody needs a little help with taxes and some more education on it.
Yes. So.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. Bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you, guys, for staying to the end of this video. I really do appreciate it. One thing that I always say is that I do this free of charge. I don't charge any small business for doing these interviews. So if you want to help me out with continuing this to make it free for any small business, please go ahead and go up there, give me a thumbs up and a subscribe.
Awesome.
It really does help.
Yes.
And if you would like to be on my show here on this YouTube channel, if you have a small business, artisan, restaurant, anything, vendor, whatever kind of small business that you have and want to be on my channel, please hit me up, give me an email at smallbizspotlight210@gmail.com. Okay, so for the important information that I have for all of y'all, next guest for next week is Law Office of Yvette Salinas. And that,
I want to really look at that one.
That one is super important because she deals with something that we have to face, and that is estate planning. Because it's never too early to get all of that in order, but it can be too late, unfortunately. So please, be there for me. Yeah, stay tuned to next week on next Thursday. Y'all enjoy your Thursday today and enjoy your weekend. Start wondering about them taxes and call my friend Johanna. Okay?
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.